Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Once again, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Let's go ahead and get started. I know we got a bunch of people still trying to get on, but I want to be respectful of your time, and I always want to finish on time at the bottom of the hour, so let's go ahead and jump right in. This morning, we're going to really be focusing on under 65, and in particular, we're going to focus on metal plans from America's Choice. But just a couple of things as I've asked Michael to join me and provide a really good deep dive on the product. So we're going to focus, as I'd mentioned, on America's Choice. Just as a reminder, nobody provides a greater product portfolio in the under 65 space than North American Insurance Services. Whether it's in the individual market with ACA plans, fixed benefit plans, short-term medical, the metal plan that we're going to talk about here today, plus ancillary and supplemental, which I want to make sure that we talk about that in lockstep with the metal plans. We also have a robust offering on group medical and, of course, financial products like life insurance, long-term care, and disability income. But this is really where I wanted to spend a little time talking about here this morning. We want to make sure that when we are offering any of the medical plans that I just mentioned in the individual or group markets, that we are stacking those plans with the appropriate supplemental health benefits, including out-of-pocket protector. These deductibles are still pretty lofty, guys. Got to make sure that our customers can come up with the $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 deductibles, plus out-of-pocket. Of course, critical illness, accident, and dental are all a crucial part. They should be offered every single time. It doesn't mean that every consumer is going to take it every time. It just means we should offer it every time. This is a kind of I know I've gone through this slide before, so I won't bore you guys with all the going through this in detail, but this is basically our under 65 view of the market, where you've got your traditional ACA plans. Those work really well for people who get subsidies in particular. Of course, if they have health issues, that's where you put them. And then you have ACA alternatives such as fixed benefit indemnity plans from Manhattan, short-term medical from Pivot. Pay very close attention to Pivot. They're going to be in the market for the long term. And then, of course, the metal product from America's Choice. And that's what we're going to focus on here this morning. Here's our favorite under 65 ancillary and supplemental product lines and carriers. The three core ones that we use are Manhattan, Allstate, and LifeSecure. LifeSecure is really here. Yes, they got good products, but really it's because they have the only real, sort of nationwide footprint of critical illness, accident, and hospital indemnity plans. Manhattan and Allstate are pretty good, 35, 45 states, but LifeSecure is almost 50. In addition, don't forget Manhattan and Allstate are where you're going to find dental insurance, plus life insurance, and those out-of-pocket protectors that we talked about. All right, I have said enough. I really want now to turn the presenter over to Michael. And let me. Good morning, Michael. Thank you so much for joining.
Hey, thank you guys for allowing me. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, looks great.
All right, it says America's Choice Agent Training, right? I'm sharing it.
Yes, it does.
All right, perfect. Well, good morning, everybody. Andy, thanks for allowing me to speak again a little bit this morning. My name is Michael Leb. I am the president of Effective Insurance Designs. We handle a lot of the back office administration, agent support for the America's Choice program. So last time I spoke with you, we talked about some of our annual max plans. Today, I'd like to just spend a few minutes and go through our very popular metal series with the different network options that are available. But before I do that, I always like to give a shout out to our amazing support team. I know a lot of you have worked with Lydia and Katie in the past. They are both on this call. They're very excited to answer your questions, to be there for you. So make sure you write down this number, take down that email address. Both of these gals are way smarter on the program than I am at this point. So they're always happy to help. All right, so jumping into this, guys, there's a couple names you want to know about this program. There's America's Choice and Gig Care. You're going to see that on all the different brochures. Basically, America's Choice and Gig Care are the marketing and brand names behind this program. So America's Choice is the PHCS network plans, and gig care are the Blue Cross Blue Shield program names. Datego Health is the name you really want to become familiar with. That is the third-party administrator, the TPA, that runs this program. They process all the payments, all the claims. You're going to see their name plastered over all emails, letters, any communications between the client and the carrier or the agent and the carrier. And then there's Granular. Granular, guys, is the stop loss carrier that underwrites the risk on this program. They are, in essence, the insurance carrier. They're an A- rated carrier, and they happen to be the fastest growing stop loss carrier in the country. So their parent company, guys, is Alphabet. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of Alphabet before. That's the parent company of Google. So this is basically their entrance into the healthcare space. So who is America's Choice for? Guys, this program was created for the self-employed individuals and their families. Anybody that's in the gig economy, any freelancers or consultants, basically people who do not qualify for any large ACA subsidies. Maybe they're an uninsured partner of a Medicare recipient. Anybody that wants to save money on the Affordable Care Act plans while maintaining quality coverage. It's really your traditional short-term medical client. In years past, we all know what's happening in September with the short-term market. So this is a great pivot for those clients and anybody that does not live in California, Washington, Vermont, Oregon, New Hampshire, or Hawaii. So currently we have 6 no-sell states. We are in all 44 other states. So there's a lot of opportunity in some markets that maybe you guys haven't had product in before, such as New York, New Jersey, basically the upper East Coast. So how does somebody qualify for this program? There's two ways to qualify, 2 things that you have to meet. Number 1, you have to attest to being self-employed, and I'll get into that in just a few minutes. And you have to be able to answer no to 11 health data questions. And I'll go through what those are in just a minute as well. So why self-employed? What does that mean? So a big reason this program was created for the self-employed is, let's face it, self-employed people do not go to the doctor as often as W-2 employees. Why? Because they're busy working. The average self-employed individual only goes about 1.7 times per year, whereas an employee, a W-2 employee, is going to go 4+ times per year because they have the vacation time to spend to do that. Self-employed people also tend to take advantage of telemedicine more than a W-2 employee, and these plans have amazing telemedicine benefits built into them. The other reason they need to be self-employed is because they are going to be joining an Alphabet-owned data company as a working owner. All right, so leveraging the ERISA laws that came out about 7 years ago, what they figured out was the way to take a self-employed individual and have them join an Alphabet-owned company called Population Science Management as a working owner. Your client's job is basically to provide their healthy health data to Population Science Management, and in turn, they will be able to participate in Population Science Management's 18 different group plan offerings. Everybody will receive a small little K1 at the end of the year. It'll be for like 5-10 cents, but basically by providing the health data to Population Science Management, they become a working owner, and again, that qualifies them for the plans that I'm about to show you. So what does self-employed mean? I get this question all the time. Self-employed, guys, simply means that your primary insured has to either claim some sort of non-W-2 income or have an active LLC or corporation filed with the state. So they don't have to be exclusively self-employed, nor do they have to be any good at being self-employed. As long as they have an LLC or corporation filed with the state or have claimed some sort of non-W-2 income on their tax return, they qualify for this program. On your screen now are the 11 underwriting questions. These are those 11 health data questions I referenced before, guys. They're the same questions you see on a lot of different applications. It's basically, has anything major happened in the last 5 years? So it is a 5-year look back. If it was 5 years and 1 month ago, you're okay. But if it's within the 5 years, and you cannot answer no to one of these questions, you do not qualify for this program. We do not have height or weight restrictions, so it doesn't matter. You can weigh 900 pounds, you qualify for the program, again, as long as you can answer no to these 11 questions. And we will allow type 2 diabetics. Type 1 is a disqualification, but type 2 is allowed. And the reason for this, guys, is the day the plan goes into effect, as soon as the plan goes into effect, there are no pre-existing conditions and no waiting periods. All right, so guys, there are 18 different plan types that you'll see in your back office when you go into quote. I'm not going to obviously go through all of them, but the two that I want to touch on today are in our metal series. So the metal plans have deductibles ranging from $500 up to $7,350. I'm going to touch on the $5,000 bronze and the $7,350 copper because they are by far the most popular metal plans being offered. So let's start off with the 5,000 bronze RBP plan. This is a true major medical option, meaning there are no annual or lifetime limits. It is very similar to the ACA. If you guys are used to selling major medical ACA plans, this is going to be very familiar to you. So no annual limits. There are numerous co-pays built into the plan. These are all ACA compliant. However, they are not Affordable Care Act plans. If they were, they'd have to be on the exchange and qualify for subsidy. So they are true major medical, not full-blown ACA. If you do not have the 7350 plan, so any of the deductible options below that, like this 5,000 bronze I'm showing you, after the deductible, everything is 80/20 co-insurance up to that max out of pocket of 7350. So if you're looking at the 7350 plan, it's obviously 100% co-insurance after that. If you're on any of the lower deductibles, it'll just simply be 80/20 co-insurance up to that max out of pocket of 7350. Like I said before, guys, there are no pre-existing exclusions, no waiting periods. So as long as you pass those 11 questions, everything is covered day one. These plans do come with all 64 ACA preventative services. So, you know, all of your wellness checkups are covered at no cost on this plan. And what's really popular and powerful, in my opinion, are our $0 copay telemedicine benefits. So there are $0 copays for primary care, telemedicine, zero for urgent care and mental health. The pharmacy, that prescription plan that's attached to this is called Medalist RX. I'll touch on that in a little bit. And as you guys saw before, there are 3 HSA options. So a couple things to point out on here. I promise I'm not going to read the whole brochure to you. You guys are all professionals. You know how to read a brochure. But, you know, there's a $25 copay for all your primary care office visits. There are a $60 copay for urgent care. And then after those copays, everything's covered at 100%. Let's just see here. Routine colonoscopies, we will pay 100% of allowable. And what allowable means is we're going to pay 100% of what the negotiated rate is between the network and that provider. Okay. Let's see here. Emergency and urgent care, again, 100% coverage after you pay that deductible. Emergency room services is going to be 80% after your deductible. Inpatient hospital stays, again, are 80% after the deductible. If you were on the 7350 plan, obviously it'll be 100% after the deductible. So just scrolling through a couple of these so you guys can see it here on your screens. A big thing that you know, folks are really interested with this plan is the prescription coverage. So as I said before, these do come with the Medalist RX prescription plan. So your retail pharmacies, generics are a $10 copay, brand names are a $45 copay, and then non-preferred brand is a $100 copay. Specialty drugs, specialty medications are not covered on any of the America's Choice programs, but anything generic or brand name would be. Ozempic, the drug of choice right now, does fall under the $45 copay for brand name prescriptions. There are mail order options. As you can see there, it just, the copay goes up a little bit to 30, 90, or 150 for a 90-day supply. Okay. I'm sorry, it's probably a little hard for you to read, but at the bottom of the screen there are the current rates. So the metal plans are age banded. We have 18 to 29, 30 to 44, 45 to 54, and 55 to 64. And the rates, guys, go off of the primary. So whoever the self-employed individual is that you put on as primary, that's what's going to trigger the age band. Okay, so ranging from 528 for an individual up to 601, depending on their age. All right, so these plans, these reference-based pricing plans that I just showed you, use the PHCS practitioner and ancillary network. There's a couple things I want to point out about this particular network. It is reference-based pricing, so you do want to check for your doctors in the network search. When you search the PHCS practitioner and ancillary network, do not be surprised that your hospitals do not show up. That is by design. That's probably the #1 support call we get. The way that they design that network search is it's simply for doctors. So you will not find your facility name in there, because everything that is scheduled at a facility, they will do a pre-certification for. So that does not mean you're not covered there. All that simply means is every facility that you go to comes with a pre-certification. So everybody's cards, everybody's insurance cards are going to have that pre-certification number, which is listed there on your screen. You guys are going to want to keep that number handy, because the client will, or the facility will call that number and work out their pre-negotiated rate with Datego Health. It's usually about a 24 to 48 hour turnaround to get that done. If your client is trying to go someplace because it's an emergency, no problem, no pre-certification needed. They can go anywhere and get the treatment that's required. And then Datego will take care of the bills after the fact. But anything that is scheduled, they want to have that pre-certification done. Out of network doctors, Datego will pay the in-network rate, and any out-of-network hospitals, again, it's all reference-based pricing. So they do pay up to 4 times Medicare. So I am not familiar with any case where they haven't accepted this plan because of those 4 times Medicare rate. Another thing that's kind of cool about the PHCS network here is we've seen it happen several times now, where during that pre-certification process, your client might be recommended to go see Dr. Smith to get a knee replacement. And as they are doing the pre-certification, Datego will actually look out within a reasonable driving area of your client and see if there's a better deal to be had with another facility. And if they can negotiate a better deal at another facility, they will go back to your client and make them an offer of, hey, if you go to XYZ facility, we'll waive your deductible or cut your deductible in half, which I think is pretty cool. It's still completely up to the client if where they want to go. It's still their choice. But I know a lot of people that have been able to waive their deductibles simply by going to another recommended facility. So those are the PHCS plans. Again, there's multiple different deductible options. Next, I want to touch on our new Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO plan. So this was a really big deal for America's Choice and Gig Care to get the Blue Cross Blue Shield national network. These plans launched April 1st and instantly became the most popular metal plans that are being offered. So basically, they're the same setup, they're the same design of major medical. So they have no annual or lifetime limits, they have numerous co-pays, everything's ACA compliant. I'm showing you the 7350 plan right now that does have 100% co-insurance after the deductible. Everything else is the same as those PHCS plans I just showed you. However, this plan is tied to the nationwide Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO network, okay, which is an incredibly powerful network. Every one of the insured members of this is going to get the blue card. All right, so again, you can see on your screen there the rates for this plan. It is age banded just like the others. The Blue Cross Blue Shield network, as you can imagine, does come with a little bit of a premium. So these plans are anywhere from 10 to 20% more expensive than the PHCS plans. But in my opinion, if your client can afford it, I would go with these because the discounts with that Blue Cross Blue Shield network are absolutely amazing. On your screens now, you can see this is an example of the actual card that your client receives. So it is going to say Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska on the top. And I point this out because this is another support call that we get all the time. This does not mean that it is just Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska. Guys, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska is who we use to get into the Blue Cross Blue Shield nationwide network. Think of it this way. There's a big dance. All the Blue Cross Blue Shield providers are at that dance. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska is simply who brought us to the dance. Now that we're in the dance, we get to take advantage of everybody across the country. So when you go and run your network search, remember it is going to say Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, but when you put in your hospitals, your doctors, your facilities in Colorado, in New York, in Texas, in Florida, wherever, they are all going to pop up. So I recommend that you play around with that network search. Okay, some important dates that you guys need to be aware of. All America's Choice and Gig Care plans are going to come with a first of the month effective date. So again, these plans start on the first of every month. The 20th of the month, so 11:59 p.m. on the 20th, is the cutoff for you to be able to enroll anyone in the new Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. So you have to have your application in by 11:59 p.m. on the 20th to get a first of the next month effective date. If you miss that, it's going to push it out to the first of the next month. Same thing with the Blue Cross, or excuse me, the PHCS plans. It's going to be the 23rd of the month. So you have an extra couple days to lock somebody into the upcoming first with the PHCS plans. All initial month's premiums are taken upon application. So as soon as you submit the application, it's going to withdraw that first month's premium, and then all future monthly premiums are going to come out on the 20th of the month. Please allow 7 to 10 business days, guys, for your physical insurance cards to show up. As you can imagine, there's a lot of people enrolling in these right now. So Datego is you know, again, at the mercy of the post office, but it's taking around 7 to 10 business days to get those insurance cards out in the mail. Everyone has a soft card and a digital card right after application. So if you need to go to the doctor right away, you know, we can still help you get that soft card, but the physical cards are taking anywhere from 7 to 10 days, which means if you enroll somebody on the 23rd or the 20th for an upcoming first of the month effective date, don't be surprised if the first happens and they still have not received their insurance card. It is in the mail, it's coming, but it usually shows up about 1 or 2 days after their effective date if you enrolled them that close to the deadline. The benefit years on these plans are all calendar year plans, so everybody's max out-of-pockets deductibles are going to reset January 1, just like the ACA. However, the rate years, the plan years, reset on July 1st. So we're coming up on the new rate year here in a couple months. What's really cool about this is that these plans have been around now for a little over 15 years. These group plans, we've been enrolling individuals into them now for the last about a year and a half, but the plans themselves have been around for almost 15 years. And on average, we've been seeing about a 2% rate increase on the metal plans, which if you're used to selling anything in the ACA, you know how attractive only a 2% rate increase is. The annual max plans have not received any rate increases. In fact, within the next month here, they're going to be launching a few new plans, and the rates are actually going to be going down. So I'll be excited to jump back on one of these calls with you guys once those come out, and I can go through those plans with you. Okay, a couple important contact numbers. Again, I want you to keep track of. Agent support, you saw Katie and Wadia's numbers before. That's what you're seeing again on your screen. But your members, you want to drive to Detago, the TPA, because again, they're the ones processing all the claims, processing all the payments, handling all that kind of stuff. So Detago now has 2 different phone numbers that you can give out to your clients depending on which type of plan they're on. So if they're on the PHCS annual max plans or metal plans, the number is 866-815-6001. That is the number that'll be on the back of their insurance card. That is the number they will call for any of those pre-certifications. When we launched the Gig Care Blue Cross Blue Shield plans, we set up a separate support number, which is 866-200-2513. Okay. If for some reason your clients call the wrong number, it's not the end of the world. Detago's used to it. They will just transfer you to the right department. Okay. All right. Andy, with that's kind of my quick run through. I don't know if we want to open this up for some questions, or if you want me to go deeper into anything, just let me know. Andy, we can't hear you if you're talking. I'm sorry, bud.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. I was just saying to nobody that the key to selling these plans, Michael, is that they're PPOs, and most ACA plans are HMOs.
Right.
And the first questions that I'm going to toss over to you from the audience are all going to be about network and can I go to MD Anderson? Can I go to
Sure.
Mayo Clinic? So, guys, as a reminder, in most states, ACA plans are HMOs, and you're going to want to lead the fact that these are PPO plans. And we'll come back to the Mayo Clinic and MD Anderson questions here in just a second. Again, going back to Michael's comments, it's great to be for people who are not subsidy eligible, looking to get a bridge to Medicare as a COBRA replacement, the aforementioned gig workers, the self-employed. And obviously, guys, if you've got somebody who is low income and they're getting fully subsidized, this may not be the market for them. This is really more for your middle people or higher than that are willing to pay a premium. They're not the cheapest things in the world. A couple last things. There's a great income opportunity for agents that really want to focus on the opportunity with these plans. I mean, I was talking to an agent, Michael, about the commissions, and we won't go through the commission schedule here, but you know, they were blown away. They're like, well, wait a minute, I only make like 15 to 20 bucks PM on an ACA, and this is like 4 or 5 times that.
Yep.
They just couldn't wrap their head around the idea that ACA is really the lowest paying product in the portfolio in terms of commissions, I should say. You can make a hell of a living, guys, just focusing on this all day. You do the same amount of work for ACA, you won't make a fraction of this money. The last thing I just wanted to remind everybody before we get to questions, because we do have a bunch, Michael, is I wanted to remind everybody to, we're getting close to a sellout for our agent conference coming up here in July. Michael, I'm so glad that you're going to be joining us in Frisco, Texas for our agent conference, July 15th and 16th at the Omni Hotel and Resort in Frisco, Texas. Great opportunity to meet Michael and the team, not to mention learn and share best practices, collaborate and build relationships, get all kinds of unique industry insights, interact with key carrier partners and vendors. You'll get presentations from top producers. We have a really exciting award ceremony, something we've never done before, and you're not going to want to miss that because actually it's something that everybody can participate in. And then we'll have all kinds of great roundtable discussions and expert panels. All right, let me get back to the questions. Okay, back to questions. Hey, Michael, I'm going to go right to the network stuff. So can somebody go to MD Anderson or Mayo Clinic or Cleveland Clinic, any of those kind of places that obviously ACA plans have no prayer? How do these look with it when it comes to some of those elite institutions?
Yes, you can. So short answer is yes. If you're on the, again, you're on the PHCS plans, they're going to want a pre-certification. So you just have to call these facilities and get the pre-cert. But the majority of the ones you just listed off are part of the network search with the Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wow. I mean, that's something customers keep asking for by name, you know, those kinds of elite institutions to get the highest level of care. You're just not going to get those in your ACA plans. And that's just something people are going to have to understand, that if they, you know, want the subsidized plans, their network access is going to be limited. Okay. Carolyn is asking, can you distinguish, Michael, the Blue Cross PPO plan from the reference-based pricing in the PHCS, America's Choice? Can you again kind of go through how those are similar or different?
So from a benefit structure, they're very, very similar. In fact, for the most part, other than a little bit with the pharmacy, they're almost identical. PHCS does have, the PHCS reference-based pricing plans do have a few more deductible options. When we launched the Blue Cross plans, we didn't do quite as many deductible options, but again, the majority of the enrollments are going to be at that 5,000 or 7,350 level. The biggest difference is simply the network. The PHCS is reference-based pricing, requires pre-certifications for all the visits, and then the Blue Cross, the Blue Cross Blue Shield is that nationwide PPO network, and we all know how powerful a nationwide PPO network is. So the discounts are deeper, the access to primary care physicians is stronger, but benefit-wise, they're almost identical.
Just to make sure I'm understanding, so with the Blue Cross gig care plan, the provider gets paid at the Blue Cross level,
That is correct.
and on the PHCS plan, they get paid at the reference-based pricing level.
That is correct. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay. We're running out of time here, so let me just give you this last one. Everybody's asking, a lot of people are asking, how do I get contracted, guys? All you got to do is send a note to sales. You can see it on the bottom right of your screen, sales@nainsurance.com, or you can give us a call, 888-362-1214. You'll see both of those pieces of information in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. I'll take that one. The last one is David is asking, Michael, what kind of special enrollment periods do you need, or can you just sell this anytime you want?
12 months a year. Yep. So there are no special enrollments on this. The only thing you need to be aware of are those cutoff dates. So again, the enrollment for the Blue Cross is the 11/59 on the 20th of the month, and the PHCS is currently the 23rd of the month. But you can sell this 12 months a year.
Hey, Michael, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to seeing you in July in Frisco, Texas. Thank you for the training and the great information. Guys, once again, if you have any questions, please contact our sales department, sales@na-insurance.com or 888-362-1214 to get information on contracting. Once again, thank you so much for joining. That's the conclusion of the training. Have a great day.